welcome to the Not Too Shabby Shop Box of the Month Hop and Giveaway. Today we are revealing the January box of the month, which is called I Heart You. I do have the hashtag in the description box below. Use that hashtag to find all of the participants in the hop. You do need to stop at each participant's channel, leave a comment, and like their video. If you did like the content, we would really appreciate if you would hit that subscribe button. Once you're finished, you can head over to Rafflecopter. That link is in the description box below, and complete your entry for a chance to win a $25 gift card to the Not Too Shabby Shop. The box of the month is available on a subscription basis. If you choose the subscription, you are guaranteed a box. If you choose to purchase as they are released, once they are gone, they are gone. So if you love this box as much as I do, then I would highly recommend that you head over. There is a link in the description box as well to purchase your box today. I'm going to share 3 cards that I created using this inspiration box, and let's jump right in. All right, for our first card, I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch top folding card base. This is accent opaque white cardstock. I began with a piece of Canson XL watercolor paper, and I cut that watercolor paper down to 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. I started with some Sparkle Blends watercolor. So this is from Spectrum Noir, and I believe this one is called Rose Quartz. You do need to make sure that you shake it up because there is mica powder in the bottom. And I just brought my brush directly to this watercolor, and I colored over the top of this, and I set it aside to dry. I cut the next layer, which is just about a 1/4 inch smaller. So the next one is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. And I used my Tim Holtz Distress Trimmer, so it does give you that deckled edge around all 4 sides, and I used that to cut that panel down. For the gingham, that is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. I did use the paper from the box, so this is called Me Plus You. It's 6 by 6 pattern paper, 24 double-sided designs, 4 of each design, and of course I used the black gingham. Once I finished with that, I came in with my stamping, and I used the fancy birdcage stamp set. So I used this corner stamp and some VersaFine black onyx ink. I stamped all 4 corners. I stamped my bird cage. Once the bird cage was stamped, I stamped the bird that was facing to the right, and then I stamped this piece right here, so the little hanger straight through. Because these are solid images, it didn't show at all, so I just went ahead and stamped that last. I used the sentiment that says "You're so tweet," and then I took some silver twine and I tied a little bow. I used some of the gems that was from Gina Marie Designs gems that came from a previous Not Too Shabby Shop box, and that finished card number 1. Oh, I did pop up this panel, so the piece that has just the watercolor paper, I did use some foam tape to pop that one up just to give it a little bit of dimension. So moving on to card number 2. For card number 2, I again used the Me Plus You paper pad. This time I used the one that has the roses, and I cut this smaller background piece. I have the gingham, the red gingham, and I cut that one down. That is, I don't know the exact measurement, so I do apologize for that. But I did cut it down so that it complemented. It was just a little bit smaller than the rose pattern paper. I took a piece of black cardstock and I cut a rectangle from that, and then I took a Hero Arts Infinity die and cut a large circle. Once I had that completed, I did stamp out using pumice stone from Distress ink from Ranger. I stamped out the perfume bottle and I colored it in using some of my Copic markers. I believe these are like the Y28, 26, and 23. I did no line Copic coloring, so these other ones I did stamp out using some disappearing ink from Brutus Monroe. And I colored this in the same yellow combination. My reds, I believe, are going to be the R39 combination. So I think it's like 39, 36, and 34 maybe. And then I did the hearts in the same colors. I used my gel pen, my white gel pen, to add accent marks to the hearts and the bow and to the envelope, and then I drew that little heart right there and stamped the sentiment that says love using Catherine Pooler's Rockin' Red. The stamp set that I used is from the box and it is called Just a Note. Now I did pop up the flower, so after I colored this flower, I did pop it up using a piece of foam tape. This is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch top folding card, and that is card number 2. Moving on to my final card, it is a slimline card. So this card finished is 8 1/2 by 3 1/2 inches. I did use some vanilla cardstock, so I wanted to go with something that was off-white because I thought that it matched the ephemera. Now I don't have the ephemera to share with you. I lost it in my craft room. I have been looking high and low for it and I have not been able to find it. So I apologize for that. This is a piece of ephemera. This bow is a piece of ephemera, as is the tag and the heart. So all of those pieces were ephemera. I colored up these gnomes, and the gnomes come from the Valentine Gnome stamp set. I used the sentiment that says Happy Valentine's Day, and I wanted to stagger it. It didn't quite fit across and balance out nicely because of the design of my card. So what I did is I used a piece of tape and I taped off Valentine's Day, and then I inked the happy. And once I did that, I stamped it and used some raven gold, or some gilded embossing powder from Brutus Monroe, and I heat embossed the happy. I came in, cleaned off my stamp, went below, and just covered up the word happy with that same piece of tape and stamped Valentine's Day here at the bottom for the Happy Valentine's Day. I colored my gnomes with no line coloring, so again I did use that Brutus Monroe disappearing ink, and I used some of my Copic markers to color up my gnomes. I used my white gel pen to add some accents to the gnomes. I used a heart stencil from my stash, and I used vintage photo and aged mahogany on the hearts. I heat embossed the sentiment that says me plus you. Now that one comes from the Just a Note, so I did use that one. I thought it was kind of cute that it says kind of like me plus you equals love, and then you've got the heart right there. That was my thought process behind it. And then this right here is the slimline paper pad. I haven't shown that yet. So here is the Boca Love, and I did use the heart pattern paper, and then this is a Whimsy Stamps die. So I will have the box of the month linked in the description box below. Don't forget to use that hashtag to follow along. And here is a look at all three. I'll try to get them all in screen. All three of my cards. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.